The first thing is that this is an age-old question. So since the dawn of Western thought, philosophers, psychologists, linguists, developmental biologists, and then even comedians have wanted to answer the question, what makes things funny? And we've come a long way in terms of understanding it, but in many ways it's still an open question. And so just from a sense of science, it's, I think, an important question to answer. But more than that, humor is ubiquitous. It's everywhere. So people of all ages and cultures experience humor on a daily basis in their imagination, in their conversation, and in their observation. Humor is also important to understand because it bestows many benefits. Physical benefits, psychological benefits, and social benefits. The physical benefits are the best documented. So clinicians have looked at how humor can help people deal with physical pain. So Patch Adams is an example of a movie that's based on real events, a doctor who's taken humor into a clinical setting with great benefit. Humor also has these psychological benefits, so it helps people deal with embarrassing situations, it helps them deal with grief, and then it also helps people in social situations, so it can ease criticism. It also attracts attention and admiration, right? People like funny people, and most people would rather be funnier than less funny. Humor also influences people's choices, so it influences who they choose to be their friends, who they ask out on dates, who they accept date requests from, and sort of the ultimate dating choice, who they choose as their life partner. So you ask people, what are important attributes in a mate, and sense of humor is really quite high on the list. It also influences people's leisure choices, how they spend their money and how they spend their time in the pursuit of humor. And that's pretty easy to see, right? So the television programs that people watch, the movies that they go see, whether they go to improv comedy clubs on a Friday night, on a Saturday night. This is something that people are in the hunt for and often willing to spend, their hard-earned dollars to get it. Because understanding what makes things funny is so important on all these different levels, it's also important in the business world. So marketers are very interested in this topic, in part from a marketing communication standpoint, that they want to create advertisements that are funny. Upwards of 30% of television advertising, for example, attempts some form of humor. Not always successfully, but makes an attempt at it. And they do so for a variety of reasons. So humor attracts attention, so it helps cut through the clutter in the marketplace. It makes these advertisements, these marketing communications more memorable. And then the sort of ultimate goal is that, that marketers hope that it helps brand attitudes, that people who like humorous or funny commercials will then, because of a transfer of those positive feelings, will also like the brand. There's also management implications of understanding what makes things funny. It can potentially help ease giving people criticism, workers' criticism. There's been some research that has shown that. Also, managers are interested in making an enjoyable work environment, and understanding what's funny and what's not funny is important, because there often can be sort of a fine line between what's enjoyable, what's funny, what's hilarious, and then also what might be distressing, offensive, and creating a hostile work environment. It also shows up with regard to product innovation for people who are in the business of creating entertaining products. So that could be television, that could be movies, that could be humorous websites. Oftentimes a lot of money is riding on whether something is funny or not. So top grossing comedic films can gross hundreds of millions of dollars worldwide. And so trying to understand those things clearly has implications for who we are, how we want to be, and how you can make people's lives better.